The New England Patriots get a massive win over the Arizona Cardinals in the desert, covering while being favored on the road. A couple backup running backs that we didn't even know really existed shined for the New England Patriots. Uche and obviously Judon got pressure on Colt McCoy, who was playing in place. That's Harris, I believe. Kevin Harris is the one. And then the other one was Pierre Strong Jr., who is like the fastest running back coming out of the last class or whatever. He put on a show with the Patriots. Obviously, we know those two are going to do their thing. Yeah. We knew that going in. That's classic Patriots. Kyler Murray, though, tears ACL and is out for rest of year after first series drive where he's running in the open field. Makes a cut on grass. We have to add in this entire conversation. On grass, an incredibly unfortunate event. Tears his ACL right there on non-contact. Judon sees his face as he goes down, immediately calls for help. The amount of pain and excruciation that happens right there. That one. Ooh. I don't know what it is. I honestly have no idea, because I think a lot of people can initially say like, oh, is he not used to running or cutting? Is he not? That's not true. He runs and cuts literally all the time. His body was built for it. Is it on a super firm surface? No, it's on grass, actually really cool grass that rolls outside, gets some sun from the desert, and then comes right back inside, and then it waters itself. Yeah. So like the grass is that super grass that people have been looking for. It's fantastic. Sometimes you just get incredibly unlucky, and it feels like that's what happened here for Kyler Murray, who is now going to miss the rest of the season for the Arizona Cardinals. What a weird year.
Wild.
What a weird year for Kyler Murray, who just signed a massive contract, a contract that's so large that the GM who signed him to the contract actually joked about an entire baseball team's payroll versus what he's making with the Cardinals, because Kyler was potentially going to be an MLB player getting drafted in the top 10 in that sport as well. But immediately upon signing the massive deal where you get paid the thing you've been working your entire life for, that you become wealthy now. Your first contract obviously makes you rich. Your second contract makes you wealthy. Your third contract makes you set forever if you go in that type of fashion, especially at the quarterback position. Then it's immediately met with a little bit of resistance with a clause in there that says, you gotta like put effort though.
Yeah, gotta watch
film.
Yeah.
The whole world was like, well, why the fuck would you pay a guy $100-some million if you don't think he's watching enough film? And if this has never been in any other quarterback contract before, why did the Cardinals feel obligated to put it into Kyler Murray's contract, knowing that as soon as somebody saw it, which we did, somebody saw it, as soon as it would hit the air, it would be like, oh, so Kyler doesn't care. They just paid this guy a bunch of money, and he doesn't care. He's not as invested as everybody else. They're forcing him to study, or they won't have to pay him? Is that what's going on? That caused a full backlash, full conversation. Kyler got buried in that situation pretty heavily after signing a contract for so much money. So then they removed the clause from the contract. But it's just like whenever you're in court or you watch a court case and you hear him say like, I object or whatever. You're like, right, remove that from the thing. Jury still heard that. Jury still heard what was just said. You watch any movie, and they're like, so you did that because you thought that blah, blah, blah. They're like, leading, objection, or whatever. They're like, right, remove that from the thing. It's like, jury just heard that whole part, though.
Forget that.
And they're just supposed to forget it. It's like, that's what happened with the Kyler Murray clause. We were all just supposed to forget that it existed. Then he has some success. They have no success at home. They're 1-12 now in their last 13 home games.
Damn.
Makes no sense. Cliff Kingsbury has not won a bunch of games as a head coach. He just got extended. Steve Keim, obviously in charge of the whole thing, he just got extended. It's been disarray. Kyler's year is up. I think more people were scared to bet on the Patriots to win when Colt McCoy came in than whenever Kyler Murray was in there. That's not good. Nope. It's a wild year for Kyler. We hope he gets healthy. We hope he comes back stronger, better than ever. But who knows what the Cardinals are going to look like next year and who's going to be in charge. Haven't got your take on this whole thing. Kyler's injury, obviously incredibly unfortunate. That's a damn shame. He's got 7-8 months of rehab that's about to have to take place on that knee to get him back into playing shape. We hope that goes well. We hope that goes swimmingly. Now, what will the Cardinals look like next year? What's Cliff Kingsbury's future like? What's Steve Keim's future like? 1-12 in the last 13 home games, losing on Monday Night Football to the Patriots by 2 scores. What were your thoughts on last night and your take on the Cardinals as a whole right now, AJ?
I mean, the Cardinals, if Kyler stays in the game, it's a different game, obviously, I believe. Yeah, we all probably agree with that, right?
Yeah, win by 50, I think, 60,
for
probably.
sure.
Win by
But don't you think this may help Cliff? This could buy Cliff a year? The fact that Kyler is going down? Like, they're not going to fire the head coach after that, are they?
I don't know. AQ gave an entire breakdown of what the offensive line is. There's 3 dudes playing on their offensive line, 5 guys on the offensive line as a whole, 3 guys playing on the offensive line that didn't even make the top 90 list of the 32 teams going into training camp this year. So we did the math. It's 2,880 people, I guess, that make training camp lists. These guys, 3 of them that are playing for the Cardinals right now, not in the top 2,880. Now, there's only a certain amount that is allotted for offensive linemen, so that number is obviously, we're being a little bit more dramatic than we need to be. But nonetheless, the offensive line, not good at all for the Cardinals, and that's where you can lose everything at. That's probably why they're so bad, huh? Figure out the offensive line, maybe your team gets back. Have you ever seen a team with a great offensive line be terrible?
No.
Never, right?
Never.
I don't think. How about you, AJ? Have you?
No.
Maybe Cleveland for this year, but again, it's a quarterback situation, right?
True.
It's tough. Usually, if you have a great offensive line, you can at least, you'll have an average team or a slightly above average team. Usually, you're not going to be just god awful or terrible if you have a great offensive line.
Yeah, I think that's easy. If you're going to hand over the keys to a team, hey, you got a team now. Boom, there's your keys. That was cool. I got a team. What am I going to do? I think everybody says it, but it's real. I am going to go get offensive. You have a good offensive line, everything else can go. Because at the end of the day, if you're able to run the ball, you're going to eat the clock. Your defense isn't going to have to be as good. Your quarterback isn't going to have to be as good. It's like the singular most important part of winning the games. I'm not just saying that because he's here. I think it's because if you watch enough football, the problem is when the quarterback's getting hit, you can't run the ball, you're fucked. Well, when that's happening, there's a pretty good chance that involves the same group of men, and it is the offensive line. You got a great one. Everything else, all these super geniuses that are getting paid millions of dollars, they can do. They can run these creative gadgets in the run game and the pass game and everything like that. They can do all that. If your offensive line stinks, everything else has to suck, I think, just naturally. And that's obviously on display in Arizona and has been for a bit.
Yeah, I mean, think about any quarterback. There's not really anyone on the planet, I feel like, at the quarterback position that can consistently play at a high level if you have a bad offensive line. It's just, there's times you can will your way through games, but eventually it's going to get you, I feel like.
Yeah, and you can obviously draw up plays around a bad offensive line. You can get the ball out quicker. You can do all that type of stuff, but not win. I don't think you win at the big level.
Agree. You can mask. That's what you can do. You can. I mean, there's plenty of plays. I mean, Tom's done it in New England. He's doing a little bit this year, right? He gets the ball out. But again, that all comes down to understanding the receivers and everybody being on the same page and running routes that get the ball out quicker, everything.
And also defense knows.
Oh, yeah.
So they're sitting, right? Hey, AJ, you guys are just sitting on that shit whenever they know the ball's coming out quick, right? So normally more turnovers for the teams that have to mask the offensive line issue.
Yeah, a lot of tips and overthrows, especially when that ball's coming out quick. D-line get their hands up. You run those little quick slants or whatever. Guys are getting hands on the ball and you run to the ball. Great things happen. That's when you get turnovers.